Am I live? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call the December 17, 2024 City Council meeting to order and welcome everybody here. Appreciate everybody coming out and joining us on the week before Christmas Eve. Hard to believe, isn't it? I bet everybody around this table's got their shopping done, but me. Oh, okay. Thank you. If you bow with me, we'll have a word of prayer before we go any further. Our Father in heaven, we're thankful again for another day of life and the opportunity to gather this evening. We're thankful for the Christmas season and what it really means while we talk about gift giving and the family get-togethers. We know what the Christmas season is all about. We ask that you continue to bless this community, bless its people, bless these folks who have given themselves to represent this community, and we ask that you pray a special blessing on them. We know there are people round about that are sick, that are hurting from the loss of loved ones, and are just worried about what tomorrow may bring. Just comfort them, and hopefully they'll lean on you as for a source of strength. We ask now that you forgive us of our sins. Amen. All right, got a set of minutes from November 19th that we need to approve or disapprove or change or modify or whatever y'all want to do.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, this is the point in time where over the years we would say goodbye to somebody that decided not to run again or whatever, but here in about 10 minutes we'll look around and it'll all still be the same people, and that's all right with me. I have said publicly, and I have written in my article, it'll come out in the next day or two, I feel like this has been a good council. I really do. And I'll be honored to serve with you again and as we go forward. So, Judge Tatum?
Yes.
Our good friend, General Sessions Judge Barry Tatum, has agreed to administer the oath of office tonight, and I thank him for that. He didn't have to come all this way out of La Garda down to Watertown, but as he knows, all roads lead to Watertown. So, and into La Garda.
Well,
and into La Garda.
as long as people just remember to shut the gate.
That's it. That's it. All right. How you want to start with the mayor? You want to start with the individual
Well,
council people?
we're missing somebody, are we not?
We are. Laura will be here. I'm told at 10 after.
Do you want to just wait until she gets here, or it's up to you?
Well, we can do that. Are you in a hurry?
Pardon?
Are you in a hurry?
Look at me. No. Y'all know when she gets here, we'll just do it all at the same time.
He brought a tall cup, so I mean,
Let me just say to you that are here today, I hope you don't have to go to his court, but if you do, it can be entertaining, as you've seen. So you might just want to stop in there someday and enjoy the hijinks, or I mean the law. All right, we'll skip over that and come back to some things here. Hopefully Laura will join us shortly. I thought I might have stalled it out long enough, but I didn't. Believe it or not, I've just talked 5 minutes. Let's skip down to public business and comment. If there's anybody here that would like to address us, we will be having a public hearing shortly on a proposed rezoning, but if you have something you want to address us about on any other item that's on the agenda, please feel free to step forward. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Nix. Merry Christmas to you and Mary.
Merry Christmas to you. Tim, I need your help.
okay.
The people that are working on the water situation,
Okay.
sewer situation, they put a meter in at the church, the Watertown, the what?
Sewer cleanout.
Sewer clean out at the Watertown Covenant Presbyterian Church.
Okay.
Well, it has settled and sunk about 6 inches.
Okay.
And I said something to them one day, and he says, well, it's just settled. We're here for 3 years. We'll see about getting it fixed.
Okay, we'll see about
So-
getting it fixed a little quicker than that.
Well, I had the gentleman at the church to put a caution tape around it. It connects the sign and the mailbox. It's right in that area, just for our liability purposes for church and
Okay,
everything.
so it's outside.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
so it's clean out.
Right against the sidewalk, next to the mailbox. We put Joe put a little barrier around it, so you can see it, so people won't step into it.
All right, what needs to be done to it? Needs to
Needs
be raised?
About
Okay,
6 to 7 inches to, just to even get it halfway close to the sidewalk.
all right. This work's going on in different spots around town, as y'all know, and they have done some work installing things, and we know that the dirt's gonna settle, and it has, and they're gonna have to go back in the spring and fill it. And as I said to somebody today, we're not gonna sign off on anything until we know everything is done right. But we'll go ahead and get somebody
Well, it
on
looks like
that.
it's, the cleanout has actually moved from where it originally was installed at. It looks like
And
it's,
that could be, maybe a
So-
better spot. You know, familiar with that side of the street where mom and daddy live there. It's down below things and
Yeah.
it creates some problems. But we'll get somebody to look at that and raise it up to level to the sidewalk. Okay,
all right, thank
all
you.
right. Okay. All right, anybody else? Will?
I can bring some.
Yeah, come on, I was gonna say, any other night I'd be overjoyed, we're moving this quickly, but we need Laura.
Tim, the historic Watertown. There was rumor that from one of your employees that you might have some spare tile somewhere in storage. And I was wondering if you did, if we could have it for the Atwood House.
Spare tile?
Yeah, floor tile from this room. There was some extra left over.
Is over in the fire department? You still
Yeah.
got it over there, Blake?
Let me check. We should.
Well, if you still have, we
Okay.
could use it for the men's bathroom because we're going ahead with that.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if we could,
If we have it, you can have it.
all right,
If we have it, you can have it.
right. All right.
All right,
That's
we'll
it.
check on that. Blake, if you will check on that for me, just let Mr. Dowd know. We held up the inauguration for you.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm messing with you.
3 jobs.
You all right? Everything good?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else on public business? Okay, we'll jump back up then on the agenda and ask Judge Tatum to administer the oath of office to myself, Laura, Steve, and April. You're Laura, that's April, okay. How you gonna do this, Judge?
All 4 of you come up, and I'll just do each one of you one at a time, but that way everybody, all 4 of them.
All right, we can do that. Saw that picture of them two yesterday, they looked like they were ready for Christmas.
Oh, yeah. They're chomping. Yeah, she put the presents out yesterday, so now it's real bad.
Came on, sick tonight now.
If it's all the same, I'll just start with the ladies first. How about that? Let's see, Ms. Pearson?
Yes.
Mayor Jennings warned me that this oath of office is longer than what the President of the United States has to swear to.
I've heard that.
So I hope you do a better job than what's been done. If you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, April Pearson,
I, April Pearson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Tennessee
and the Constitution of the State of Tennessee
and the Charter of the said City of Watertown.
and the Charter of the said City of Watertown.
And I will faithfully execute and perform
And I will faithfully execute and perform
with fidelity the duties incumbent on me
incumbent on me
as Alderman for the City of Watertown,
as Alderman for the City of Watertown,
to which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected
and which I am about to assume,
and which I am about to assume,
according to law,
according to law,
and to the best of my skill and ability,
and to the best of my skill and ability,
and that I will make all appointments
and that I will make all appointments
that become my duty
that become my duty
without favor,
without favor,
partiality,
partiality,
or prejudice,
or prejudice,
and alone upon the grounds of qualification.
and alone upon the grounds of qualification.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. So did you memorize all that? You raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Laura Lee Cromer,
I, Laura Lee Kramer,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Tennessee
and the Constitution of the State of Tennessee
and the Charter of the said City of Watertown,
and the Charter of the said City of Watertown,
and that I will faithfully execute and perform
and that I will faithfully execute and perform
with fidelity the duties
with fidelity of the duties
incumbent upon me as Alderman of the City of Watertown,
incumbent upon me as Alderman of the City of Watertown,
to which office I have been elected,
to which office I have been elected,
in which I am about to assume,
in which I am about to assume,
according to law,
according to law,
and to the best of my skill and ability,
and to the best of my skill and ability.
and that I will make all appointments
And I will make all appointments
that become my duty
that become my duty,
without favor,
without favor,
partiality,
partiality,
or prejudice,
or prejudice,
and alone upon the grounds of qualification.
and alone upon the grounds of qualification.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank
We have a Georgia dog here. We have a Georgia dog.
Well, I thought we would go with the younger person.
Yes, well, yes. That's a shame that I get this in court all the time because when everybody says, let's go to court.
You raise your right hand. I, Steve Casey,
I, Steve Casey,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Tennessee
and the Constitution of the State of Tennessee
and the Charter of the said City of Watertown,
and the Charter of the said City of Watertown,
and that I will faithfully execute
and that I will faithfully execute
and perform with fidelity
and perform with fidelity
the duties incumbent upon me as Alderman for the City of Watertown,
the duties incumbent upon me as an Alderman of the City of Watertown,
to which office I have been elected,
to which office I have been elected,
and which I am about to assume,
and I am about to assume,
and according to law,
and according to law,
and to the best of my skill and ability,
and to the best of my skill and ability,
that I will make all appointments
and I will make all appointments
that become my duty
that become my duty
without favor,
without favor,
partiality,
partiality,
or prejudice,
or prejudice,
and alone upon the grounds of qualification.
and alone upon the grounds of qualification.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. I can't help myself. There's two, this we got a Georgia man over there, and we got a Tennessee man over here. Did y'all hear about the two guys on death row that was about to be executed?
No.
These two fellows, one was from Georgia, one was from Tennessee, that was about to get executed. We called them in there and they said, we'll give you one last wish. And they go to the Tennessee guy first and they said, what's your last wish before we execute you? He said, I'd just like to hear Rocky Top play one more time. They turned to the Georgia guy and they said, what's your last wish? And he said, hang me first.
Pretty much.
Raise your right hand. I, Michael R. Jennings,
I, Michael R. Jennings,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Tennessee
and the Constitution of the State of Tennessee
and the Charter of the said City of Watertown,
and the Charter of the said City of Watertown,
and I will faithfully execute and perform
and I will faithfully execute and perform
with fidelity the duties incumbent upon me
with fidelity the duties incumbent upon me
as Mayor of the City of Watertown,
as Mayor of the City of Watertown,
to which office I have been elected,
to which office I have been elected,
in which I am about to assume,
in which I am about to assume,
according to law and to the best of my skill and ability,
according to law and to the best of my skill and ability,
and that I will make all appointments
and that I will make all appointments
that become my duty
that become my duty
without favor,
without favor,
partiality,
partiality,
or prejudice,
or prejudice,
and alone upon the grounds of qualification.
and alone upon the grounds of qualification.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. I need to get signatures on here, so,
Yep, just take your time.
I've already signed my part and dated Ms. Pearson.
Thank you.
Mr. Cromwell. There's Mr. White.
Yes, and, hang on a minute, Judge, if you don't mind. Yes, sir.
Catch your pen down, Mr.
Can you take a picture? Well, I'll section over there. Everybody come around. Let's get our picture made.
Why don't you go against the wall so
You wanna do it over there?
this is in the way?
Do the line.
Yeah, no shot.
Everybody. 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 Everybody.
That's why you're.
Keep an eye on it.
Don't touch it this time.
Keep hands to yourself.
Okay, we've learned a trick. You don't say cheese, you say yeah. So 1, 2, 3, yeah. One more time, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank y'all. Have a good turn.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Let's see. Y'all are gonna sign these, who's gonna collect? Y'all gonna- Miss Karen is gonna pick them up.
I need to sign mine. See one. You already signed one over there.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. If you give me just a minute, I want to make a couple of comments. I've already said how tickled I am to serve with each and every one of you. When I was trying to decide earlier this year and into the summer whether or not I wanted to do this again, my words are not coming easily. I just want to say this is an exciting time to be in Watertown. I don't, and I guess I've lived here longer than anybody except Hal Roberts, and I yield to him always on that. But we've had a lot of good years in this community, but we have never had this much going on. And some of it you can't see. You know, you don't see water or sewer lines, but you see clean water if it comes out, and hopefully the other goes out when it's supposed to. But we've got the opportunity now with the rail park, with some rezonings that are going to happen, with some slow but steady growth, and not the kind, we don't have somebody in here tonight wanting to develop 1,400 acres, thank goodness. But it's a good time to live here. It's always a good time to live here, but it's a good time to look forward to the future. And I felt like that I wanted to be a part of that, and I do. And I want y'all to be a part of it, and I want us to get this thing done and do it right, and somewhere down the line, we're gonna pave streets. So everybody just bear with us. You may have to drive in some wagon ruts and some things like that for a while, but you know, if we get the rain tonight they're talking about, the streets will be worse tomorrow. Nothing we can do about it until we get the water and sewer stuff done. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it, looking forward to working with each of you. And my door is always open if you have questions or comments, suggestions, whatever. I'm glad to hear them. Okay, let me get caught up on my list here. Next thing I have is we need to elect a vice mayor. So I will open the floor for nominations for a vice mayor.
I would like to nominate Steve Casey.
Okay? Are there other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Laura.
Okay? Well, I've got 2 nominations. Anybody else?
I'd like to nominate Steve Casey.
Okay. All right, well, we got them both in nomination. Let me ask this from each of them. Are both of you willing to serve? If you,
I think Steve is more qualified at this time to serve.
I ain't asked that. I said, are you willing to serve?
I will do whatever everyone votes for me to do.
Okay. Okay.
I would be honored if I am selected to.
Okay. All right, I'm going to close the nominations then, and we will call a roll to vote, and it will take 4 votes to get elected. So, yeah, whenever you are.
Okay, Hal,
Laura?
Steve,
Laura.
Laura, Steve, Kyle,
Steve.
Caleb,
Steve.
April,
Steve.
Mike.
Steve. We already had 4 for Steve, right? I didn't have to break the tie. Okay.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Congratulations. I don't step aside much where you'll have to do anything, but at my age, you never know. So be ready. And let me thank Laura for serving, were you serving now 2 years? A little over 2? Elected you in March of 2022? Okay. All right.
Mike, before you go out of session, can I address you all real quick?
Yeah.
It's pertaining to the agenda. I don't know if you want me to do it now or at the end, but it's under your informational business. Your next regular meeting is January 25th, 2020.
We're going to have to move that.
Well, I'm planning on trying to be here with my chief building inspector to go over what it would take to get Watertown residential building codes.
Yeah.
But I can't be in 2 places at once that night. County commission's gonna be that night.
That's what I was talking about, we're gonna have to talk about.
Okay, so you were aware of that, I just wanna make sure.
Yeah, before we leave here tonight, we'll either commit to stand with that or go to another date, but,
Okay.
yeah, the county commission kind of threw a monkey wrench. I've always set this meeting the night after the county commission meeting with the holiday, they changed
Threw a
things.
curveball.
And it'd be that way in February as well.
Yes.
January and February. Okay, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Okay, we are ready to go into a public hearing. Can I hear a motion and a second that we go into a public hearing on the proposed rezoning on Newtown Road?
I'll make a motion that we go into public hearing.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, okay, we're now in the public hearing, so Christopher, do your thing.
All right. A public hearing will be held before the Watertown City Council on Tuesday, December 17, 2024 at 6 p.m. or thereafter in the council chambers at Watertown City Hall, 8630 Sparta Pike, to hear on second and final reading the application submitted by Jordan Fleming with permission from property owner Drew Boggs, requesting to have property rezoned from R1 residential to RM2 medium to high density residential. The property is located on Newtown Road and contains approximately 9.7 acres. The property is further referenced as Wilson County Tax Map 127D, Group C, Parcel 14. Information has been on file at the Wilson County Planning Office located at 228 East Main Street. Anyone desired to comment on this is requested to attend. This was posted in the Lebanon Democrat on November 30th, 2024.
Okay, we're now in public hearing. If anybody would like to comment? Okay. I have a theory on public hearings. If you don't speak, the hearing closes pretty quickly.
My only concern is a dead horse, the road, but
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Is that the property behind?
You tell me.
yeah. Out at the end of,
Where the federal housing is at. That's-
yeah, it is. All right,
Can I say something?
absolutely. Come on up and tell us about it.
First, congratulate you two ladies and you two gentlemen. That was kind of cool to see. Well, I'm proud to stand up here and say I don't have 1,400 acres
Me too.
to deal with. I actually fell asleep with my little phone on my chest about 8:45 watching, and then caught up this morning on everything. But there are 9 acres, and we want to pursue the rezone. We feel like we've done as much feasibility, due diligence, and homework to try to satisfy everything. And I'd actually commend the mayor on continuing us to pursue the water pressure issue. As he said, you don't have a water supply problem, you just have a water pressure issue, and he is 100% correct. Y'all did. So I was going off of a site plan that Drew Boggs had submitted and did engineering on in 2022. And with the TTL, our engineer did a fire hydrant pressure test and further explored that, which took 45 days. We did realize that there is going to be a need. So if no one's talked about the water pressure issue, we have looked into that, found a resolution for it, and it is going to be a improvement that we have to bear. So as far as the water pressure, I think we've gone through all of the exercises to make sure that it's going to be satisfactory for it to service. And again, I think that this is a project that's a benefit and a value add to an area that can use stimulation. I think it's a good mix of residential and attached, and I'd like to see some gentrification in that area and in Watertown. So just wanted to say that. If y'all have any questions, comments, or concerns, I'm happy to address what I can.
Any questions of Jordan?
Well, I've got one. I understand you've already agreed about the upgrading of the water pressure and the pump station and whatever's involved in
Yes,
that.
sir.
I've read the documents. At what point does the city take ownership and responsibilities for that infrastructure that you're going to be adding?
Very good question.
And once we take ownership, is there going to be any kind of bond period where you've posted a bond in case we have a failure
Yes.
within a quote warranty period?
Yeah, so typically, and I'll default to the mayor or Christopher Lawless or anybody else to verify, but when we do horizontal improvements, including sewer, road, grading, storm, and water in this case, we would do everything to the standards, which would be vetted by civil engineers and people with a PE stamp, and make sure everything is done to standards. Then we do a performance bond, typically for a 1-year period. So after we install everything, I've got to warranty it with a surety or letter of credit or a bond for a 1-year period. After that 1 year is up, it usually is either relieved or a reduction. And then it gets turned over. It actually would get turned over typically when we record, if it is in the right-of-way or in Watertown property. We may be creating an open space on our community and then giving it, but it would be given to Watertown. We warranty it for a standard 1-year period, and then everything else from there would be on the Watertown utility district or taken over from there.
Okay.
We have met twice, maybe 3 times to discuss the water issue. A lot of intelligence around that table where people know about this stuff. And the concern was, of course, fire flow and pressure. And the proposal that had been submitted would provide 500 gallons per minute at 20
PSI
pounds,
static.
20 PSI.
Yeah.
And J.C. York, one of our certified water operators, sent me a follow-up email today and said he was fine with that. So I think it'll be an improvement up in that area. And quite possibly should lead to some other things maybe. But I've said too much. Other questions?
What about the road? That was one of the issues.
You're all right. There is a road over there, and it's not the best. Our design will be really focused on our community. For now, we have, consideration for 2 points of ingress, egress, so to come in and to leave. It is tight over there. I think originally, whenever we first started this process in April, I went over there because the traffic was a concern in parking, specifically across the road. And I went out and I took pictures and looked. And I can't really say that I can prevent people from parking on the roads. Gave some options for them to park in a more viable area, but if they've been parking there for 20 years, they're probably going to still continue to park there, and I can't do anything about it. So I don't have a direct resolution to say, hey, we're going to make this a 4-lane road. I'm incurring a very substantial cost on the water improvement, and I think that's a help and a value add, and I'm not trying to deflect, but we'll do everything that we can for our roads in the community and the approach and the leaving. But there's going to be some traffic on that road no matter what. If Drew wants to do his 15 homes, which is approved for, that's going to be traffic for 15. So there's going to be traffic whether it's just one or more. In a situation that the people across the road could do better just on parking, so everybody else could use a little bit wider road.
What about the grade school or elementary school? That was my concern, because the people coming after kids every afternoon and bring them to school every morning, they park on the side of the road from Main Highway all the way to the entrance to the grade school. Okay, trucks is not going to go through there. And that I brought that up before, and I think y'all sort of said, well, we're going to go through, basically. It's not wide enough, and you're not going to go through.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's just simple fact. Now, I don't know how you're going to control that or what you're going to do about it, but
I can try to manage the construction and the development. Of course, once homeowners got blinds and cars and beds and occupy, I don't really have any control because I'm not the owner any further. I can try to put some limits and some times and recognize when the high traffic bus, school, pickup and drop off or start and exit are, and try to work some framework around that. But that's about all I could think of right now on that.
I will add to that, the original discussion we had, you were interested in exploring with the Lebanon Housing Authority, who owns Ricewood Heights up there, the federal housing development, the possibility of putting a off-street parking behind there. Full disclosure, I represent the Housing Authority, and we talked about it, and Mr. Johnson says that he cannot foot that bill on his own. I can tell you, if you went through the federal government, it would take quite a while to get it approved. He also, it's not Mr. Fleming's or Mr. Boggs' responsibility to put parking on private property or even federally owned property. So the street and the parking is what it is. It's not going to get any better. But we do feel like we got the water issue resolved. And I will tell you I'll tell you, it's going to cost these guys about $400,000 to do what they're going to do up there in the improvements. So, other questions?
You may have said it, I missed it. Is the pump station happening regardless of if it's R1, R2?
No, sir.
It's just R2.
So, yeah, so what we have proposed would require new civil drawings, new construction, and new engineering. And what Drew has already been approved with the stamp and the state and everything else. And it's more of a inline pump and booster. And, like the mayor said, it's going to have a benefit not only for our community, but for future surrounding people.
Other questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, George. Anybody else want to comment? Okay, and we'll close the public hearing and now turn to the council as to what our decision will be. It's here tonight on second and final reading. It's up to us to vote it up or down. Christopher, you got anything? Come on up. I should have said at the start, this is our new Watertown, Wilson County Planner. Now, I always referred to Tom, he was a Wilson County Planner, and Christopher is too, but I always put Watertown in front of it. So he's our new Watertown, Wilson County Planner, and he has cut his teeth pretty quickly. Last night on 1,400 acres, and tonight on 10 acres in Watertown. But he's up to the task, and he survived last night, and looked like he got a little sleep, so.
Barely. The only thing I have to report, I'm going to reiterate a little bit of it just for, since are you back in session yet?
Yes.
Okay. Again, this is from R1 residential to RM2 medium to high density residential. It's 9.7 acres located on Newtown Road. This did go before your Watertown Planning Commission. I have the date, May 28th of 2024, and it comes to you with a positive recommendation. And I'm happy to answer any other questions that you believe are in my wheelhouse.
Okay. All right. Were you raising your hand to speak? Okay. Yep. I thought nobody usually does that. That's pretty nice of you. I'm going to recommend this to you. I think it's good. I think it's about as good a development as they can do with what they've got there. They don't control the streets, obviously. But the thing that weighs in my mind pretty heavy is we have people that are looking for homes. And people are looking here constantly. They're calling here, have you got something to rent? Is there something to buy? And I think this will open some doors for some people to move into our community. So I'm going to vote aye for it. That's all I'll say. But it's going to take a motion and second either way to do something. So I'm open for a motion.
And you had mentioned the word rent, but these are not rent homes, correct?
So our intention is to deliver townhouses and single family.
Right, yeah.
My intention would be to deliver to a consumer, but I will also say,
Right.
I'm going to also say, 30 days ago, I didn't know who the president was.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and so we're trying to tell me what rates and everything are going to be 3 years from now.
Right.
And so I don't want to paint myself and handcuff
Yes, I
myself in a
understand.
corner. Because there is a market, if it needs to be stabilized, where people can't afford the rates. So I don't want to go on and say, hey, without out and anything, but the intention specifically with residential be for the consumer sale, and depending on market conditions on the attached as well. But
Thank you. I thought so, I just wanted to confirmation.
I need to reiterate, regardless of whether it's rental or for sale, your motion can't be based on
Right.
that opinion due to the Federal Fair Housing Act. You can't dictate that as a board.
Right. I make a motion to approve the new development, or, I'm sorry, going from R1 to R2, that's what we're
Be
doing.
rezoning, yes ma'am.
Okay.
Make a second.
Okay. Have a motion and a second. We've had some discussion, but we can have more if we need to. All right, hearing none, are you ready to vote? I'm going to call for a voice vote. If there's need to call a roll, we will. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
Okay, got 6-4 and 1 against. All right, motion carries. The property is rezoned. Next step will be a site plan, of course, somewhere down the road.
Depending on the style of development, it'll be a plat or a site plan. In either direction, we'll go back before Watertown's planning commission,
Yes.
depending on the style of development.
All right, let me add something that I've got on the agenda, but I'll go ahead and move it up now. I put on there discussion of possible development regulations. That's something we need to do, because we don't have very much here. You know, basically, if you want to build a house, you get a building permit, pay for your water and sewer tap, and off you go. We've got to change that, and Christopher is prepared to lead us on that. He even had a gentleman prepared to come tonight, and I asked him not to because we had quite a bit going on, but probably in January, we'll begin that process. I've explained that to Jordan and Drew, that they may be the guinea pigs on this, but we got to start somewhere. And, you know, input from you is certainly welcome. And, but we've got to come into the 21st century. So that'll be on the table next month to at least begin the discussion. All right, thank you, guys. And thank you for the comments that were made. Always appreciate that. All right, we'll move into our reports. Chief Hinterlight, Police is first in the queue tonight.
Any questions? Comments? I know we're supposed to be short, so anything? All right, good, thanks.
All right. It works for me. Chief Hobbs, see if you can follow that.
I'm smart enough to listen to the email.
Good evening. We had a total of 53 calls last month, 27 in the county, or 27 in the city, 26 in the county. Outside of that, I sent last month list Mayor Jennings for our surplus items for our 1997 Suburban. The replacement has been put in service and it's currently running calls. But outside of that, we've been working with WEMA to redevelop our automatic mutual aid agreement that we have with them. It was put in place many years ago and just kind of felt like it needed a little bit of updating to reflect the current situation. Back then, they had a lot fewer stations around this area and there was a lot more that we were providing, and now that they're providing those in that area, it kind of allows us to not have that as much of a responsibility. So I'd spoke with Chief Hobbs and Chief Cooper at WEMA, and we're all agreeance on this. That's really about all I've got, unless you all have any questions.
That agreement will, not that we don't already have very good service here from our own people and WEMA in support, but it will provide even better service when duties are defined, and always been a good working relationship here.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. Chief, you have, you're the only one that's brought me anything as an item for surplus, but you are ready to surplus the Chevrolet Suburban.
Yes, sir.
203,579 miles.
Yes, sir.
First of all, we'll have to approve that, but how do you want to dispose of it? What's the best way to get the most return?
Since it's not necessarily a fire department specific item, I don't think that going anything like gov deals would necessarily be the best bang for the buck on that. Possibly a local sealed bid auction or something of that nature.
Okay.
But I wouldn't recommend anything that's fire equipment specific, as it's not necessarily.
Okay. All right, so is there a motion to declare this surplus?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Second, motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That carries. Let's take a look at that, maybe you and I talk about, and I'll see what's out there. I hate to go to the expense for one item, but we don't need to let it sit there either. You know,
Right.
It's not gonna get any younger, so
Right.
we'll try to come up with something and bring it back to the council.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions, Chief? Appreciate the good work, guys, and the police department.
Thank you.
All right, is Dale here? No, he had left you a brief report there. Dale is not especially wordy. But our sampler unit previously purchased has been installed and is in service. So, and I did ask today Steve Jones to give me an update on the water and sewer projects, and I did not get anything back. So I don't have anything to report to you tonight on that. Do have some items of old business we need to talk about. I was wanting to ask Dale, but I'll talk to him tomorrow. The state people have scheduled our routine pre-treatment compliance inspection. When they use the term routines, it scares the daylights out of me, because nothing's routine with these folks. But for tomorrow, so they're coming up about 11 o'clock to inspect, and they do a records review and a site review. So hopefully everything will be okay on that. hadn't heard from Dale that he's alarmed about it, so that's a good sign. Sent out something on the budget, didn't want to alarm everybody, but the budget, the difference between revenues and expenditures usually starts decreasing this time of year. It's not in general fund, so I'm going to watch our spending the next couple of months until it builds back up. But I wanted to let you know why I sent that out. We are at 45.2% of the fiscal year. General fund revenues are at 37.5. General fund expenses are at 57, and so that's got to bring that back closer together and get that back in line. Same thing a little bit with water and sewer, but not to that extent. So it'll come back, but we gotta help. Any questions on that? Sometimes I get to talking like I'm in my office and there's nobody else to talk to.
Money spent out of that, how much of that in comparison to like AARP money on that budget? How does that?
The AARP money's built into that budget, so yeah, we'll still do what we committed to do. Yeah. Got the second reading tonight on increasing the water and sewer tap fees. Yeah, I told you it was coming. $3,000, I think, in about 2 minutes. Going to increase water taps to $3,000, sewer taps to $3,000. Service deposit, $150 if you own the property, $250 if you're renting or leasing. And at Steve Casey's motion last month, we increased the reconnection fee to $75. So I'm recommending that to you on second and final reading.
I make a motion. Accept.
Got a motion and a second to approve that on second reading. Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, that carries. Next one is to increase the bid limit of the city from $10,000 to $25,000. What that means is we don't have to run the ad in the paper for it, but we do have to take three. You have to get 3 written bids if it's under $25,000. Most everybody I know has gone to this. I know you want to advertise for bids and you get the best bids most of the time doing it that way, but it also costs you a little money to do it. So when you can save that money, it's a plus, I think. So I recommend that to you on second reading, please.
Motion to approve.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution that you had not seen, but it was on your desk tonight. You'll recall Kerry spoke to us by telephone at the last meeting about designating Highway 70 in Watertown as a part of the United States Bicycle Route 80. And this resolution comes straight from language that he has used in other places. So this will be our, if we approve it, this will be our intention that we want to be a part of that system. So I will recommend that to you based upon the discussion we had last month. Some good questions were asked, and I thought we got some good answers, and I think I remember the police chief saying that it shouldn't be any problem for us. You still good with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries unanimously. I had on there too about the approve the sale of surplus property. We've already done that. Some informational business.
We haven't done it yet.
Christmas holidays will be closed 24th and 25th.
Oh, you skipped it.
New Year's holidays, December 31 and January 1. Those days are kind of significant for you if you are a property owner and if you want to pay your property tax, and we encourage you to do so. But if you want to pay it and get the deduction on your income tax, it has to be paid by December 31 or postmarked by December 31. The significance is we'll be closed on the 31st. So if you're gonna pay it in person or whatever, try to get it here on the 30th. And so you can get credit for it. We'd hate for you to miss that. Of course, that'd be between you and the IRS. But we want to be able to, if we're contacted, to say, yes, they paid it. Now, I've never had anybody do that. But I don't want to have to say, no, we didn't see it. Okay. I should have commented on this earlier. We've had a lot of nice things happen here over the last 2 or 3 weeks related to Christmas. We had a good Christmas parade, I'm told. I never get to see it because I ride in it, but I'm told it was a good parade. We've had good events on the square. We've had some things that have begun under the leadership, I think, or at least the push of the chamber to try to get more people out and shopping here locally. We've had some really good things going on in our various churches. And I just want to congratulate everybody on that. You know, not everybody in bigger towns or big towns gets to do what we get to do and not have to worry about driving downtown and paying $40 to park or whatever. And it's good. So I congratulate the people that have put the time into that. And, you know, we had Santa Claus and Miss Claus on the square after the parade. And I looked and he had children and bigger children and mamas and daddies hugging his neck. Everybody loves Santa Claus. So we had a good turnout. Pass that along to Miss Claus, all right?
Will do.
You heard Christopher talk about, he and I have got a dilemma. And if y'all choose to meet on the 21st, you still can. I just can't leave here. But Christopher can't either. But the county commission used to on Monday, January and February, our third Monday holidays, and we always then carried our meeting to the fourth Monday so that we could meet on the third Tuesday. They decided back in April that they wanted to go just to the next night on the third Tuesday. So that kind of puts a kink in what Christopher and I do. So I would like to reschedule it if y'all want to. If you don't want to do it that night, it won't hurt my feelings. I get the same pay whether I'm here or not.
Can we move it to Thursday of that week on the
That was
23rd?
that was the night I was thinking.
Because I like to have it close to the commission meeting for whatever reason it makes.
I do, I like getting over with.
I know, all in the same week, I know it's done.
I've been looking forward to supper time tonight.
So you're talking about the 23rd of January and the 20th of February? Would that be the dates we're talking about?
Yeah, I didn't even look at February. Does that work for y'all? Okay. Any ball games, athletic?
What, January what?
Would be instead of, the new date would be January 23rd, and the February date would be February 20th. So move from a Tuesday to a Thursday, same week.
Okay. Unless, you know, now if something changes and there's a problem for somebody, let me know and we'll work around that. I want to go back to, I was bragging on a lot of people and I forgot our schools. Our drama people put on a good presentation that afternoon before the parade of the historic townspeople here, and that's always good. And then we've had, I think, a couple of concerts here. I think we had a Christmas concert, and maybe, did we have something else?
I know 2 churches came together at one time, maybe last night even. And then a week ago, I think on the square, they had a group of singers at the gazebo that was real pretty, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. There's just a lot of good things.
And along those same lines, this coming Saturday, is it Randy Anderson?
Yes.
We're going to be providing Christmas lunches between 1 and 4 on the square. And Santa and Mrs. Claus will be available between 1:30 and 3 for photos and visiting with children, if anyone wants to take advantage of that.
Santa's schedule gets tighter the closer it gets to Christmas.
Yes.
Very much.
Chief, are y'all doing something with toys in conjunction with that, or are y'all doing that separately?
We're doing both.
Okay. Okay. So,
We'll be there Saturday, and then Friday is also our prayer with the cop for the community, and we're gonna have some of the families come over. A lot of people don't want to be, for everybody to know that they're having some hardship, so in fairness, we'll call the ones and have some come over Friday, and then we'll have some stuff Saturday between that as well.
good, and I should have mentioned a while ago the good work y'all did on Thanksgiving. 80 families?
84 plate lunches. It was amazing to be able to give back to the community, and we had a good sponsor. And it's no better feeling than helping folks. So yes, it's great. 84 plate lunches. We delivered every one of them. Me, my boys, my family, a couple of other officers and their families. We delivered them in our cars, people take it to them.
Well, I should have mentioned that when you were up here, but that was I don't remember that ever being done before here on Thanksgiving. And that's very good, very good. Before we go any further, John, I didn't ask a while ago, was there anybody wanting to speak during the public comment or anything?
There was no comments, but we do have 9 people watching right now.
Well, that's good. Okay. Especially since Watertown's playing basketball at home tonight and Tennessee's on TV.
It's a big game at Watertown High School tonight.
DeKalb?
Yes, sir.
That's what I heard. When Hal and I were in school, those used to be knocked down, drag outs, literally. There'd usually be an arrest or two come out of those games. Okay. Let's go around the table. Hal?
No comment.
Steve?
Just a couple things. One, a quick update on the old City Hall.
Called you a while ago.
Yeah, Mr. Lamerson has got someone working on the brick, got to do some brick repair to shore up the back wall before he can remove the roof, because the brick might fall in if he doesn't repair it.
Yes.
Additionally, he brought it to my attention, I went up there yesterday. He's in contact with EMC about replacing the pole on the corner of the square. Same pole that has your camera on it. That pole is very old, it's leaning away from the building, and it's starting to pull the brick away from the building because the service line between the pole going to the building is now basically a guide wire for that pole. So that will be, he's going to address that with EMC. Should not involve us in any way, but he wanted to make me aware of it just in case he has an issue with EMC. The other thing, and I want to bring up, because Mike, you've alluded to this several times tonight about how Watertown is growing and changing. And you went through a period, and you and I had a conversation actually before you officially went into the re-election cycle. As we grow, our budget is getting more complex. Our budget is getting more involved. And I would like to see if we could. Right now, I know you and April do a great job. April communicates a lot of the numbers with you and the details. But I would like for us to entertain the motion of potentially adding at least 2 council members into maybe a budget subcommittee, to where as we continue to grow, you can share your knowledge and teach some of us what you look for in a budget, what flags you look for. And from your experience, you know what the auditor with the state looks at, what's an issue. And because 4 years from now, I don't know if you're going to run again, but
I don't know if I'll be here in 4 years.
Don't say that.
But as we continue to grow, I think we need to try to expand the knowledge base among the council of how the budget is set, how you project numbers, how you look for red flags, just so that we are prepared in the event you decide to retire.
Well, Laura mentioned this several months ago, and I will appoint that, and matter of dovetailing on that, I have some other appointments to make to boards that I will make next month. I just hadn't been able to pull it together, but yes, I think that's a good idea. The absolute best thing to do in my opinion, we are the only governmental agency, at least county or city, in the county that does not have a finance officer that handles, preparing the budget, tracking the budget. And we need that. But to get that person would probably cost a minimum, I'd say, of $75,000, probably close to 100. And I just can't justify that when we need street painting.
No,
But I'd love to do that because this is by far the biggest part of what I do to prepare for this. And I'll welcome the help, I can promise you that. I don't know how much I can teach you, but I can tell you how I got to this point, and you may look at it and say, why don't we do it this way? I'm fine to look at that. I really wish we could hire somebody and put it under their bailiwick where they came in and gave a report every month, and if we didn't like what they were doing, we could challenge them or terminate them. But I can't justify the money right now. I just can't with everything we've got going, but we will do your suggestion.
Yeah. And I'm not suggesting that we go hire someone. We are not at that point.
Well, I'd love to.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a need we need to get to, but we're not at that point yet. But in the meantime, you need some help, I think.
Yeah, it's hard to go out and explain to people in the community why you're hiring somebody new and paying them this money when they've got a big old pothole in front of their house.
Oh, yeah.
And so I can't, my conscience won't let me do that. Doesn't sound like that's sport if I propose it, and I'm not going to, but we will try to look at some other options, and I'll be glad to do that. Let's see. Were those the two?
Those are the two.
Okay. Laura?
I was just gonna talk about nominating board positions, and so it sounds like I'll table that till next month.
We'll get them next month. Stand by, and thank you for serving as vice mayor. I should have said that earlier.
Yes, sir.
Only job I know of that pays the same as the mayor.
Hey.
What about it, Cal?
Looks like we got a pretty Christmas tree on the square.
Yep, we do. A lot of people did some good work on that.
It looks great. It looks really good.
We got some folks that are taking a lot of interest in our community, and I'm glad to see that. Caleb? April? Y'all ready to go home, aren't you? John, we got anybody on that raise any issue?
No comments, no issues, there's still some views.
All right. Barring some drastic emergency that is unforeseen, this will be our last meeting this year. Good to see everybody. I wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and we'll pick up. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy your time with families and friends, and hopefully a football game or two. And but anyway, if you're ready, I'll entertain the motion to adjourn will be to say Merry Christmas, and the second will be Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy
There we
New
go.
Year.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.